My Yanek show, chupa 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 best show on the planet. Chupa chupa my Yanek show, chupa 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 best show on the planet. Chupa chupa pow 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 wow. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome your host for this podcast, Mr. Mike Yanek. Hey, yeah, woo, we love you, Mike. Bam! Oh yes, baby, we made it, we did it. Oh, it's the anniversary episode of the Mike Yanek Show. Oh, it's episode 10. Oh, yes, I'm so happy that we're not cancelled. Somehow we survived 10 episodes. I just want to thank. Oh, I'm so excited now. Oh my god, I can barely speak. I just want to thank the Academy. I just want to thank everybody who supported me throughout those years. Just doing 10 episodes was not easy. There were so many obstacles and difficulties. And I just want to thank the baby Lord Jesus. I want to thank my family and everybody who voted for me. Yes, baby, yes. Somehow we survived 10 episodes, and I'm very happy that you're joining me in this glorious moment, in this big celebration of the anniversary episode of the Mike Yanek Show. It's not, in all honesty, it's just gonna be the same old shit, same old nonsense. I'm just gonna rant, I'm just gonna talk random stuff and stupid stories and things that are very hard to follow at times, and maybe it's a bit way too difficult. You'll be like, Mike, you're repeating yourself way too much, and I have no idea where the fuck are you going. And sometimes you talk too slow, and other times you talk way too fucking fast. But this is the show, okay? It's a free show, so what can you do? But yeah, I'm very happy now, and we managed to do 10 episodes. Today I'll try to keep it hour, maybe in 15. That's it. It's not gonna be like a bonus 12-hour show or something like that. Anyway, mate, I hope that you're shaking that booty and making the money. Okay, I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you have a great week. How was your week so far? Everything good? Okay, good. Okay, did we did a little catching up and stuff? Okay, good. So now we can go straight into business. Whoa. First thing I want to say. So I was doing a gig in January. Actually, this was my second gig of 2020 because I thought, bro, it's pre-recorded, man. This fucking shit is pre-recorded months before. I'm not discussing what's happening in the news or or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And anyway. I was doing a gig in Chester. Chester is nearby Liverpool. For those of you who don't know, it's like a posh place, where all the rich people go and they talk a little bit pretentious from time to time, I don't know, man. They're kind of like posh audiences, like upper middle class English audiences are kind of like my kryptonite, to be honest with you, because I'm very vulgar. I curse, I'm very wild and eccentric and flamboyant and all that type of stuff. And usually, this is a bit of a generalization, but usually upper middle class British people are a bit more reserved. You know what I mean? So it is kind of like my kryptonite, honestly. Like all my bad gigs and stuff that I've ever had, they're usually in front of those type of audiences, And I'm like a working class boy, so I prefer working class people because they get drunk, they get loud, it's crazy, and like you know what I mean. They love that energy and confidence and all that stuff. So I go to the gig. The venue is lovely, honestly. Like I've never seen. It was like in a bar. We're upstairs. Oh, it's so cozy, mate. It has like a little bar in the corner. It looked like somebody's living room. It looks like a hipster girl's living room. It was amazing. Very, very cozy and nice venue. And it was like the first gig, I think, for that venue for 2020. And it was around 15 people. And it's a small room, so it's packed. You know what I mean? It's very nice. I was very happy. The organizer was super sweet. The MC was not. Everybody was awesome, And then I managed to get like a lift back from the venue to Liverpool, so everything worked out great for me. Very, very happy, and I hope that I will go back and do the gig again. So I start, like I'm second, and I start with my usual antics. I'm very confident, very loud, and boisterous or whatever the fuck on stage, right? And it's going well, but it's like because I have recording of all my gigs, I record all my gigs, voice record, and when I listen to the gig again, and even if I play it for somebody, you'll be like, oh, you probably died on your ass. But in actuality, I did very good because, like nobody was laughing out loud. I can see them, you know what I mean? Because it's not like in the club where you have all the lights and stuff and you cannot see anybody. I can physically see the people. They're fucking in front of me, mate. and they're dying laughing, but they're not making a fucking sound. And I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I've never had that before. Like, I had gigs where I died on my ass and nobody laughed because I just didn't do well. Fair enough. And I had gigs, where it go well. But I've never had gigs where it go well and they're laughing, but they're like, like that type of laughter when you try to hold it in or not make any noises. And I can see them that they're fucking dying laughing. It was so strange. It was so strange, mate. Honestly, like, fuck, man, very weird. And but I had a great time, and I think the gig went well. And I interacted with the audience as well because the organizer, he was really sweet because he was like, he's one of those organizers where he doesn't book like 25 acts. I've been on nights where there are like 12 acts or something, and the audience is like completely exhausted. What's happening with my voice? Fucking hell. So we were, how many people? I think four acts, four acts in the MC. So he was like, just take your time, mate. If it's going good, you can do 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It's okay, which was good. You know what I mean? So I like those venues where there's no pressure. You know what I mean? So you can really take your time, maybe interact with the audience, do a few bits, maybe improvise, try something new. And I definitely improvise because I was like, I want to loosen them up a bit. And sometimes I've noticed, like, if there's not many people and if the venue is a visible, I call it a visible venue, like a pub or something, where everybody can see everybody and the comedian can see the audience and vice versa, I call that a visible venue. While a club is usually a venue that you cannot see. I go on stage, I don't see anybody except like four people on the first row because the lights are so bright, and everybody's in the darkness. But when it's a visible venue, people sometimes are kind of nervous to laugh even because they're gonna stand out or because they're like, oh, there's like seven people in here. So you need to really loosen up the audience that way. Anyway, it was fun though. There was a on the first row there were two British girls, I think, from Chester. Next to them, there were a couple from California. I actually talked to them after the gig. Lovely people. And on the side and behind them, like a group of people, and at the back a few comedians, and on the side there was two boys and one girl. And I was making jokes, and I think they both really liked it. And because I have a few bits in my comedy where it's interactive, quote unquote, and just point to a random member of the audience and just say some stuff and stuff like that. But it's usually because I'm really flamboyant and sometimes like really feminine on stage, and then I switch like straight away being very aggressive. Well, no, actually, I'm being very feminine while being super aggressive on stage all the time. And sometimes it's good when you have like a really masculine guy like with big beard or stuff, and you just point to him. And I don't want to give out the jokes, but it usually works well. And sometimes the guys get very uncomfortable, which makes it even funnier. And but it was a funny thing. I didn't say that on stage, but I was thinking when I left the gig, because the guy he looked like me. You know what I mean? I'm like a tiny skinny guy, and he just like, yeah. And because the MC was asking, and the girl, she was super fit, mate. Honestly, like fucking a, fucking a. And I was so the MC was asking them what's their deal, blah blah blah, and I genuinely thought that they, that's like the sister of the guy or something, you know what I mean? Because she was way too cute for him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's my girlfriend," but he was like really feminine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? But it's just like, and the guy next to him, so the MCs ask, "So what's your deal, guys?" And the guy says, the guy in the middle, the feminine skinny guy, he's like me, right? He's like, "Oh, that's my girlfriend." And then he asks, "How about this guy?" And he's like, "Oh, that's my best mate." His best mate is like this fucking bodybuilder guy. He's all jacked, like fucking big beard and stuff. And then I was thinking, that huge guy with the beard, he's fucking smashing your girlfriend, mate. Fucking hell, mate. Honestly, I'm not saying this to be mean at all. Like, if they hear this one day, because they seem like, that I'm gonna convert them into fans, you know what I mean? Because I always spend time with people from the audience after the gig, and we just talk. I just like people. And I'm sure they'll probably one day hear this and they'll be like, "Oh my god, James," or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm not saying that, bro, I'm just gonna call you James, fuck it. I'm not saying this to make fun of you or to bash you, but I'm telling you, bro, this guy's smashing your missus behind your back or if you're like in the room or whatever. I don't, bro. They look like young guys. They look like they're in their 20s. Everybody's a freak nowadays, and I don't know what type of freaky shit you into, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? But oh, this guy's banging, banging that pussy. Man, fucking hell. But hey, but they look like a nice trio. You know what I mean? And then I talked to the Californian couple after the gig. It was very interesting. Very, very interesting. I learned a lot from them. I like to talk to people because you get all type of people from all type of walks of life. You know what I mean? And you can learn so much. So the Californian couple, they were telling me the girl is she's like a designer or something. The guy is like a improv comic, and teaches some sort of courses or something. And it's very interesting because they moved to Chester 1 year ago, and I was asking them like, why did you move? Because they're in the arts and showbiz and all that stuff. And I was like, but why did you move? They lived in Los Angeles, mate. And I was like, why did you move? Like, this is the place where everybody wants to go and be, because the opportunity is there, the fucking industry is there, you know what I mean? Everything's there. And they said because it's like, it's too crazy there. And the work, they like the British work ethic where it's like Monday to Friday, and Friday 5 o'clock, you finish, and they're like, okay, I'll send you that email on Monday. And she said that in California it's not like that. It's like, if you don't send that email, they will find somebody who is willing to do that job and take your place and all that stuff. And I had no idea. I didn't know that Americans work that much, to be honest, because it's like we have this stereotype. Yeah, there is this stereotype in Europe about Americans that they're lazy and fat. You know what I mean? I don't know about the fat stuff, but definitely lazy. But I think they fucking work, though, isn't it? Goddamn, well, you're working, hustling. You know what I mean? The Yankees, the Yanks. No, the Yankees. I think they work, isn't it? If any Americans listen to this, let me know. Are you out there hustling? And so we were talking, and I was asking them, have you been, to like the comedy store, the most legendary comedy places? And they were like, oh yeah, yeah, we've been there. We saw Jerry Seinfeld, and they were like, do you know Jerry Seinfeld? And I was like, bro, I'm a comedian. What the fuck you? Who doesn't know Jerry Seinfeld, bro? You kidding me? I grew up on Seinfeld. It's one of my favorite shows. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? And I was like, yeah, of course. I fucking my it's making so much noise, my fucking chair again. I need to fix this shit. Anyway. And I was like, yeah, of course I fucking know him. And I said to the guy, it's like, oh, you a Christian. Have you heard of Jesus? I mean, this is what I said to the guy. And he was like, well, he was like kind of surprised. But I mean, I'm not comparing Jerry Seinfeld to Jesus, you know what I mean? But Jerry Seinfeld is the I mean, all type of people listen to this podcast. But if you don't know, Jerry Seinfeld is the most commercially successful comedians of all time. He's almost a billionaire. I think he's the richest comedian ever existed, and he has like Seinfeld is probably one of the most iconic, if not, well, nah, they have friends and stuff like that, but especially for people who are like comedy geeks, nerds, and stand-up comedians, Seinfeld is, you know what I mean? Because sitcoms are not that funny, let's be fucking honest. Especially like in the 90s, they used to be good, but now they're shit. But Seinfeld is really, really amazing. Like, you should watch it if you've never seen it, especially if you're like a 20-year-old or something and you have no fucking idea. You get proper, but it takes time because the type of humor is very specific and you need to get, used to it. But it's fucking amazing. And then they said Dave Attell. Oh, sorry. I took like a lot of water. Fucking hell. For those of you who don't know Dave Attell, he's like there is a saying that your favorite comedian, his favorite comedian is Dave Attell, which is true. He's like the comedian. He's a fucking king of underground comedy, or like a club comedy. He's like the legend. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things. I mean, obviously, I want to meet him. Like him, Doug Stanhope. You know what I mean? Like these really, really underground guys that they are fucking phenomenal. He is a fucking master at comedy. He's not for everybody, obviously, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's not like mainstream Disney type of clean comedy, that type of stuff. He doesn't give a fuck, man. He's savage, but he's really gangster. So we had like an interesting conversation with them, and the Californian couple is saying something I found fascinating. They said that the culture. Look, I've never been there, and obviously, like, I wanna do stuff like that. So one day my goal is, oh, probably I'll see how things work out maybe in 10, 15 years to actually go to Los Angeles for maybe some projects or opportunities. But they said, especially the woman, that the culture over there is not good. It's like hyenas, you know what I mean? And they just looking for prey, and they're just gonna use you. Like, you know what I mean? If you can offer them something, they'll be nice to you. They'll try to, you know, get in, be your friend or whatever, so they can use you. And the moment you cannot offer them anything, they'll just drop you straight away. You know what I mean? She said that it's very shallow and it feels like a different planet. You know what I mean? This is what they said. I've never been there, so I have no idea if it's true. How are the people? Maybe, if maybe in certain industries, and they also say that you have such a saturation. You know what I mean? Of because all the industry is there, like on paper, you know what I mean? And you have so many people over there, like every waiter, every waitress, everybody. When you go to the dry cleaners or whatever, every fucking guy and girl who works there, it's a actor or a comedian, you know what I mean? Wants to be somebody, and they give you script to them moving, give you headshots and portfolios and all that type of shit. And she said it gets overwhelming after time, and the traffic as well. Traffic's brutal, she said. And also, yeah, because everybody's there. But she said now, because like taxing law, it was interesting how much I learned about a city, a state, and an industry in about 4 minutes, because we talked about 4 minutes about this, because there was like intermission, and then the MC came, so I needed to move up a bit and just leave them alone. But for 4 minutes I've learned so fucking much, you know what I mean, about economics, about geography, everything. And she said because of the tax rate, because it's really high in Los Angeles, a lot of the companies now, they're actually shooting in different places like Texas or Nevada, or you know what I mean, where it's just cheaper, and you have some loopholes and all that stuff, so they can pay less money. So it's very, very fascinating. I know so far it's not funny, because it cannot always be voices, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes stuff like that really reflect on me. And it's interesting because the anniversary episode is a bit more serious, which is kind of strange. But I have a few funny stories anyway. But I think this is interesting. And then after we finished, we left, and I did a cover share with a comedian from Liverpool that I've never met before. Lovely, lovely guy. I usually don't drop names. I don't know why. Like, you know what I mean? Even if my mates and stuff, I'll mention the first name or something like that, but I don't drop names. I don't know why. I don't feel comfortable dropping people's names here on this podcast. Anyway, lovely guy. And we were talking about comedy and stuff, and got into it proper deep. And he was saying that comedy is amazing and so much fun to do and stuff. It's a bit underrated, and people think that everybody can do it, but that's not the case. It's quite difficult at times. And he was also saying that the things that make it's more difficult to make people laugh than to make them cry, which is kind of true, I think, because the people that make the things that make people cry have always been the same, but the things that make people laugh have changed throughout the decades, which is true. If you watch stand-up comedy like from the 50s or 60s, like Lenny Bruce and stuff, it doesn't hold up. You know what I mean? Because it's different, and it changes all the time. What makes us laugh? It's like, but what makes you sad and cry? It's always the same, isn't it? It's like somebody dying, or seeing like a little homeless puppy, or you know what I mean, like somebody leaving you, that type of heartbreak, breakups, all that type of stuff. It's always the same, but it always changes. Like Charlie Chaplin movies, not many people are gonna find them funny, even though I watch them because I find them fascinating. And I think he was probably one of the best, if not the best ever. But not everybody will find them funny because times have changed. You know what I mean? But it's physical comedy when you think about it. Like physical comedy, I think kind of stays the same overall. Yeah, but when it comes to spoken word and jokes and satire and being clever and punchlines, all that stuff, it changes constantly. Um, but that was quite interesting. But yeah, middle class audiences, fucking hell, mate, they're like my kryptonite. Jesus Christ, fucking laugh, people. You know what I'm saying? You can be a bit. You don't always have to be so uptight. You see, okay? Sometimes you can be out there and be like, ha ha ha, that little boy's funny. I like him. I want to put him in my front pocket and take him home and give him a bubble bath. Okay, I'm just gonna fill up a little cup with water. Gonna put a little soap, and he can go in there and take a little bath. Okay, so yeah, because I'm small. Laugh, people. It's okay. Life is very short. Okay, middle class people. If you're listening to this, have a bit of a laugh, you cheeky bastard. I don't know, mate. Anyway, um, I have a few stories. Let me have a look. What do I want to say? There's a few. Oh my gosh. Should I talk about the girl with the big tits? Hey. Okay, which one do you want to hear? So we have the girl with the big tits, or the 2 times I've made somebody pee their pants from laughing, or the guy who is hiking. We're gonna do them all three. Oh damn, Mikey boy, yes, because it's episode 10 is the anniversary. Okay, let's do the girl with the big tits first. Haha, that's what he said. Jokes. No, so I was doing a gig in Manchester. So this was my last gig for 2019. Yeah, in Manchester. It was like middle of December. Anyway, and then I took like, I don't know, like 10 days or 2 weeks off because it was Christmas. There was not many gigs going for, people my level and all that type of shit. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do one and stay at home and stuff my face with food. I had so much food. Anyway, I'm going to Manchester and we go to this bar. I've done this gig before. The organizer, he's one of my mates. It's lovely. I love it there. We have a good old time. And I'm doing a car share because I don't drive. I do a car share with one of my really, really close comedy mates. Oh, we have a fucking blast, right? And we're sitting there. Behind us, there's like a table. One of the girls doesn't fucking shut up for a second. Oh my god, what the fuck, man? Like, is this girl, right? This fucking girl behind me with 2 dudes, and she doesn't shut the fuck up the whole time, man. And she's talking loud, you know what I mean? Like proper, like you have a conversation while the acts are on stage, and I get really pissed off because it's like very disrespectful. So I always kind of turn around and give them mean looks, you know what I mean? And then when I go on stage, I fucking bomb because these people are heckling me or booing me because I just tell them to shut the fuck up. 10 minutes before I go on stage, but I don't give a fuck, mate. I'm a savage, and you need to respect comedians, okay? These are my colleagues. You need to be nice to them, and but anyway, so onto the side. No, I just walked in, right? I'm just gonna start the story from here. So I just walked in, and the first thing the organizer, he's one of my mates. He's like a really big, tall guy. He says, Mike, there is a girl here who wants to see you." And he's joking and stuff, and I just kind of turn around and I see this girl. I don't know, she's coming out of the toilets or going. I don't know. She's coming from somewhere, just walking with the most preposterous tits I've ever seen in my life, bro. Okay. And I just said, "Hold on, what the fuck?" I just yelled, just howling, hold on, what the fuck?" You know what I mean? This fucking yelling and shit. And all the comedians, they're just like, everybody just laughing and stuff. They're like, "Oh my god, Mike, shut up." This girl, bro, let me fucking tell you, okay? Oh my god. I don't know if she had a boob job. I don't know if somebody fucking slapped some tits on her. I don't know what the fuck. Okay? But she had the most preposterous tits. Okay, like the fucking, it was not a blouse. I don't know what the fuck was it. Like she had 2 straps, you know what I mean, over the nipples. That's it. Like the way those tits were balanced, I think she put tape or something. But they're just in the middle of her like torso. You know what I mean? They're like in a weird place. Tits are not supposed to be there. Okay, and she got this weird outfit on where you can like, they're just out there, bro. They're just so fucking out there. She had this huge V down to her belly button. You know what I mean? It's not like, "Oh, I'm just gonna show a little bit of cleavage." No, bitch. She's like, "Oh, I'm here to show my titties." You know what I mean? That type of shit, like a V-neck down to her belly button. And I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And really skinny. She was really skinny. You know what I mean? You can see her ribs and stuff. I don't like stuff like, I'm not body shaming now. Everybody's different. I like chunky, big, thick. Oh yeah, big old mama, big mama rolling. Yeah, big old booty, big old slappering thighs, huge massive tits, okay, and just big backs and strong. I like a woman that can lift shit. You know what I mean? I'm small. I need a bodyguard. I need protection. I'm fucking like chunky. You know what I'm saying? So she was like really skinny. And I don't know, like, I didn't find her attractive. I think she was cute, and like in that type of way that most guys, because we're hornbags, sleazebags, will find everything attractive. But it was, you know what I mean? She was skinny, and she was just like, she was really obsessed with her looks. And I think her lips, she had her lips done, and that's a huge no. If you had your lips done, oh no, fuck off. It doesn't look nice. But and she was really obsessed with her looks, because there was like a mirror to the side, and like, she's on the table, she doesn't stop looking at herself. Even when the comedians are on stage, she stood for like the two of the acts, and she left. But the story is not about her, mate. Ho ho ho. Oh, I'm doing a bit of a plot twist. Oh, Mikey boy, are you gonna do? Are you gonna remove the carpet under my feet? Oh yes, brother. Because you know what? The story is about the guy that she was with. Ha 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 ha. Do you hear that? That is me. That is me clapping. Oh, I'm clapping for that gentleman. God damn. Because that guy, oh man, he was an interesting fella. Like, he's a good looking fella. You know what I mean? Just average, good looking. Looks like a decent guy. You know what I mean? He's not like maybe like one of those crazy steroids bodybuilder types, or the guys who just fucking walk with a massive gold chain and like a tank top and tattoo. None of that fucking crazy shit. You know what I mean? All those guys who think they're like gangsters. A fucking tough guy. What's up? Let's fight. You know what I mean? Those type of guys. No, just like a normal guy. Just like I think he was wearing like a shirt and maybe like jeans, sweatpants. Completely average, normal guy. He seemed decent. That's why they seemed like such a mismatch. Because she seemed like one of those obsessed girls that only oh my god, I'm doing an Instagram story now. Oh my god, follow me on Snapchat. Like that type of shit. And I'll get all the plastic surgery and makeup, and all she cares is looks. You know what I mean? And if that's you, if you're listening, hey, I mean, what can I do, man? I'm not judging you, but come on, read a fucking book from time to time, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I'm a dumb guy, but at least I'm entertaining and I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, I'm ugly and I'm short, but I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? So fucking learn the joke. Write a fucking joke, okay? But hey, I mean, women can get away with that, innit? Because we just want to shag. Oh, bam! Oh man, that's too much truth. I'm dropping too much truth for this podcast. No, but in all fairness, some guys only wanna shag because they're sleazebags, and some girls only wanna shag. No, it doesn't work though. If I say some girls wanna shag because they're sleazebag. But anyway, no, I mean everybody's different. I'm just exaggerating, obviously for comedic effect. Um, no, you okay, mate? Do whatever the fuck you want. And so I see them right. They're standing there, and they're pretending to have a date. Okay, I think this was like a first date or something, and it's just so funny, mate. Honestly, like, I was just looking at them because this was a little bit before the gig started, so I had time to actually look at them. And while the MC was doing the work, and comedians, they didn't even pay attention. And oh my god, because first of all, her tits, they're just out there, mate. I'm not joking. They're just out there, okay? They're out there. They're decent size, especially for her frame. They were very decent. They're not that big on a big woman, but for her, because she was like very skinny, and she was tall, but very skinny, small frame. Looked good on her, And oh my god, Micah, you're objectifying this woman now. How the fuck are you gonna talk about her looks for the last 7 minutes? Well, I do apologize. I mean, hey, what can I say, bro? I'm a little sleazebag, and I'm a little douchebag, douchebag. Anyway, so this fucking guy, okay, he tries to have a conversation with this woman, but it's so fucking difficult because her tits are just there, okay, and he is trying desperately, and I mean desperately, not to stare straight at her chest. You know what I mean? Oh, Mike, you said chest, you didn't say tits. You're making improvements now. Yes, hashtag progressive. I don't know, fuck. And he is not only looking at her face, he's looking not at her forehead, just in case. He's looking above her head, mate. I'm not even exaggerating. A little bit above her head, just in fucking case, because you can still see them. You know what I mean? If you look in her eyes, they're just fucking there. And I was like, oh my god, I was laughing, mate. I was like, my comedy mates were just like, mate, fucking look at this shit. It was so hilarious because I've done this. I'm the same, mate. I have this bad habit to look women in the chest. And yeah, me saying that, you'll be like, because you know what? I've talked to so many couples after gigs because they're like, oh my god, you're so funny. Da, 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 da. And I always talk to the couples and I'm super friendly and I'm super not creepy. If I talk to you after everything to do with the comedy, I'm not creepy at all. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say ridiculous shit in front of my mates and comedy mates, but if I've just met you after a gig, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? But I'm super sweet, nice, and very funny. And they're like, oh my god. And now when you hear this, you'll be like, hey, hold on. The guy will be like, oh, were you staring at my Mrs. Tits when I was not looking? Uh, well, probably yes. Well, what can I do, bro? Sorry, man. They just put there for a reason, If God, okay, let me preach now. Let me. It's Mr. Mike, I preach over here. Let me preach, baby. I want to say, baby Lord Jesus, if God doesn't want us to look at the titties, He wouldn't put them there. He wouldn't put them right below your chin. Well, a little bit below your chin, okay? If God doesn't want us to stare at the titties, He's gonna put them somewhere, maybe on your knees. No, not on your knees, on your heels, or maybe down by your feet. Okay, and maybe He's gonna cover them with something really thick skin so we cannot see anything. But God put those titties there so we can look at them and be like, God damn, God, you've been doing some bloody nice work. Fucking nice work, God. God damn. Praise the Lord, baby Jesus. Sorry, man, what can I do? Have I stared at your Mrs. Tits after a gig? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I'm just joking, mate. I'm a good boy. uh, so he's just staring, and I can see him. He's so uncomfortable, mate. Honestly, because like he is a decent guy. You know what I mean? And that's the issue with decent guys. They don't want to be creeps. They don't want to be pervs. They want to be respectful. And if somebody catches them doing like looking at her tits by accident or whatever, they'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. And he was like fucking sweating, mate. Honestly, he's looking and he's just like, yep, yeah, he's just moving his head, you know what I mean? He's not even listening what she's saying. And that girl didn't fucking stop talking, mate. Honestly, like, she even talked more than me, and I don't shut the fuck up. See, this podcast is an hour and a half, and it's non-stop. It's almost no pauses, just me drinking water. It's just fucking rapid fire, you know what I mean? And this guy, oh my god, I felt sorry for the guy. But eventually they left, and I think he probably went to do some smashing. Bam. You know what I mean? Like, good for him. I'm happy for him. But, you just need to put up with stuff like that sometimes. But that's because he's a nice guy. Me, I've been out with a girl, and I'm not joking. She got a big old titties. Back when I was dating, honestly, mate, she got some big old titties. Nice titties. And, one time she caught me. Sorry, mate. She caught me. She got like this, was it whatever the fuck, cleavage. She was showing a bit of cleavage. And one time she got me. She caught me. And I was like, are you looking at my, breasts? And I was like, well, I mean, I usually do when you're not looking. And she just laughed. She was like, oh, that's funny. But that is funny though. Next time if a girl catches you, be like, well, I usually do that when you're not looking. Or just say Homer Simpson had like the best line ever. He looked at like a new colleague's tits, and she was like, excuse me, are you looking at my breasts? And Homer, he's staring, and he's like, I made my decision already. Which I think it's a great line. Just fucking say that. I made my decision already. You know what I mean? Well, what you gonna do? And or you can always use like the foreigner card that you always do. Hey, I'm just foreign, I don't know how everything works in this country, Back home you see a woman and you stare right at her chest. If you stare at the chest, she's like, thank you very much. That means I'm good looking, I don't know what is the policy in this country. You can use this accent, to get away with a lot of stuff in this country, honestly. Like, I've used it a few times, and I'll tell you a story. This is not in the list, but I just remembered it. One time I was going to Manchester. I don't drive, so I catch the train, and but I don't catch the train that often. I usually go with bus or car share, so I don't really know how it fucking works. And before I started comedy, I've never used the train before in England or the UK because I don't know, I don't like to travel. And I go there, I buy my ticket, I bought it online, and it says, Manchester, blah 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 blah. One train is cancelled, but I see another one stopping, and I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, it takes me to where's a Piccadilly or something, so you know what I mean. It's gonna drop me there. So I go in, and I was like, oh, this is a very nice train. I sit down, I play my music, I got my, I'm looking on my phone, writing or whatever the fuck, and just like the conductor or like the guy or girl who checks the tickets. I don't know what's the name of it. He just walks past. He was like, excuse me, tickets, 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 and I have my fucking headphones on and I'm cocky. I got my ticket and I just show it, and there's like a few because when you purchase them online they give you like 8 tickets or whatever, a receipt and this and that, whatever. And he starts looking at them, and usually they just check them and they give it back. And you're like, oh, thank you, mate, have a nice day, just being polite. And he's looking at them and he's like, excuse me. And I was like, what? And I just took out my headphones because he started talking to me. And he was like, oh, excuse me, but you're on the wrong train. And I was like, oh, so what? And he was like, well, you're booked for the Northern Line. This is, I think Virgin. I think this is a Virgin train. So you're on the wrong train. And I was like, and I panicked. Because I'm usually good in social interactions and stuff like that, or even if something happens. But I don't know why he really caught me off guard. So I panicked, and I was like, what? Excuse me? And he was like, do you use the train often? Like, I have to charge you a ticket, or you know what I mean? Like, you got the wrong train. And I've never, like, I usually don't use the fake accent anymore and pretend to be like a complete foreigner that just arrived to the country. But I was like, sorry, I don't, excuse me, I don't understand. And, and he was like, and he's explaining to me, right? And by this point, like, people starting to look around, like, oh, what's happening? Because he stood there for like longer, he's not passing by. And because everybody got the ticket out and they're waiting for him to come and, have a look. And he was like, yeah, do you use the train often? And I was like, I go, from Liverpool, Manchester, once a week, once a week. I'm not joking, mate. This is how I spoke, honestly. And he was like, yeah, sorry, mate, but we need to, you need to leave the train. And I was like, oh no, I can't leave. They're waiting for me in big Manchester. And he was like, yeah, mate, I'm really sorry. And I was like, oh, please, mister, can I buy ticket from you? No, but I buy ticket from you. I give you money straight away. And he was like, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, you can buy a ticket from me. And I was like, thank you very much, very grateful, thank you very much. And he was just like, he gave back the ticket, and I think he felt really bad, and he was like, okay, don't worry about it. Hey, but next time, okay, next time buy and go on the correct train. I was like, oh, thank you, sir, no problem. Next time I'll go on correct train. Thank you very much, thank you. Oh, great person, thank you. He just left, mate. And I was like, I was so embarrassed, honestly. Like, it's very hard for me to get embarrassed, but I was like, fucking hell. Everybody was looking at me, you know what I mean? And they was like, oh, this motherfucker. And, I'm like all dressed very nicely and stuff. And they probably knew that I was pretending that I just came to the UK, but they were like, this fucking foreigner, this fucking bastard, you know what I mean? And he just left me alone. And then I was telling the stories to my comedy mate, and they were laughing, they were busting my balls. It was funny. Yeah, good old times. They was thinking like that because all of me comedy mates, I don't know why, but they do this like really stereotypical Eastern European accent, and whenever they see me, they say like, hey, because I talk like this, I'm like Yanek, I go on stage, I tell jokes, and they pretend, and I'm like, I don't fucking speak like that, mate. You know what I mean? Like, I have a little Scouse twang in my accent, and I speak like fluent. Yeah, I do have an accent, but I speak fucking fluent English. You know what I mean? I don't fucking sound like that. They're like, hey, but Mike, I came from Bulgaria. And they were saying like, oh, when you offered him to pay, and I was like, yeah, I'll pay you. I have chicken here, and I open a chicken coop, and I give you goat chicken, no problem. Take half my family. Yeah. Anyway, but he left me alone. Like, thank you very much for leaving me alone, sir. Because I poor boy, I don't have money. Yeah, I don't know. Let me drink some water. So we did the girl with the big tits. Haha, that's what he said. Mm, I'm gonna tell you about a guy that I saw. So we're gonna leave the story for dessert. I have. Let me see how much time I have. I have about a half an hour. Yeah. I'm gonna do about an hour maybe today. Um, So I have the story which when I made somebody pee themselves 2 times from laughing. Legit, I'm not joking. I'm gonna leave that for dessert, so I can keep it to the end of the show. I love to keep you in suspense. But Mike, why do you like to keep me in suspense so much? Well, because I'm a cheeky boy. I love it. Okay, so we did big tits, we did Chester. Big tits. Okay, so I saw this guy like the other day, a world record holder of hiking, and I was like, what the fuck, mate? Honestly, like, I'm not. Hold on, I'm not gonna mention any names or where did I saw it and all that stuff. If you hear this, mate, first of all, I don't know, congratulations. I mean, I don't know what to say honestly because his achievement is like outstanding, yet pointless at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like one of those fucking Guinness World Records. You know what I mean? Those people who can like, oh, I can stuff 22 hot dogs in my mouth at the same time. And you're like, that's impressive, but completely useless. Like, what are you doing with your fucking life? So this guy, right? Same story, man. This fucking guy for 1 year, 1 fucking year, hiked. It was a group of 10 people who hiked across the fucking world, Asia, right? He went to fucking across China, across fucking Mongolia, India, mountains, forests, Tibet, crossing rivers, whatever the fuck. This guy is insane hiking. And he was telling stories like he was hiking through some woods where they were infested, woods and mountains infested with bears and wolves. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Are you kidding me? And he said, for about 3 weeks, that's how fucking big those forests were somewhere in Asia or whatever. 3 weeks, they were in a infested territory, and they camped there and sleep, and packs of wolves can jump out of nowhere any second and just fucking destroy his ass, you know what I mean? And I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? That is really, really impressive. 1 year of hiking, but completely useless at the same time. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And he was saying like, oh, I'm the first person to do that, and I hold this record and that record. And I was like, why? I don't get it. Just get a fucking car, mate. If you wanna go somewhere, there is much better. I just can't even tell the story with a straight face, mate. Honestly, I'm laughing right now. I'm trying to hide it. It's just fucking stupid. Why are you doing this? And he was like a young guy. I think he was like my age or younger than me or something. Do you wanna guess the race and the fucking? I don't talk about race. But do you? Of course he's white. Of course he's fucking white. Okay. Oh god damn it. Of course he's a guy. Of course he's white. Of course he's not getting his dick sucked. Okay? Because if he was out there busting some nuts, he wouldn't do some stupid shit like that, mate. You know what I mean? And look, I can say that I'm white and I don't get my dick sucked as well. So nobody's sucking that dick. So, but you don't see me go to fucking forests, mate. Why do I want to go to a fucking forest? Sorry, I can't do this. Why do I? Because I can just imagine this fucking guy with a huge backpack just fucking crossing forests that are infested and chased by wolves and grizzlies, while somebody's staying at home watching a comedy special on Netflix and eating balls of ice cream and having the time of their fucking life. You know how fucking good it feels after like a long day of productivity to sit down and be like, okay, I have 2 3 hours now, and I'm just gonna watch my favorite show and gonna eat maybe a packet of crisps. Maybe I'll eat like a hot dog and have a bit of ice cream. Oh, mate, it feels fucking phenomenal. And you fucking dumbass, you're out there in the fucking mountains. Like why? Why are you doing this shit? Like a fucking goat, like climbing the fucking rocks. What is at the top of these fucking mountains? I don't get it. All these stupid people climbing and fucking climb. And why is always white people? Okay, I'm gonna talk about race fight. Why is it always white people? God damn it. Shit, man. Shit. I think they don't get laid or something, man. Always fucking dudes, okay? Mostly dudes that don't get their dick fucking sucked. Look, I don't think these people have girlfriends, man, or boyfriends or whatever. Nobody's fucking giving them a stab. Or they're not stabbing everybody, man. Anybody. That's why they're out there in the fucking mountains. You know what I mean? Climbing this shit. Climbing, running, chased by bears. I saw this other guy on Instagram the other day. Oh my god, jeez, what the fuck's wrong with these people, man? This fucking guy went to the mountain, saw a bear. It's a really popular video, by the way. Saw a fucking bear, stood there. The bear charged him. This fucking guy pulled out a pistol, but there was no fucking bullets in the pistol. Pour out like a pepper spray or something. It's a fucking bear. What the fuck you gonna do with a pepper spray? It's a grizzly. And this guy got his fucking his face and his fucking arm mangled, mate. And he's doing like an Instagram live, Snapchat or whatever. And he's showing like his bone and the meats are fucking. You know what I mean? They're flapping on one side, like half of his hand is flapping to the side, and his face covered in fucking guts and blood and scars and whatever. And he's like, well, yep, now I'm just gonna walk myself to the hospital and I'm gonna stitch myself up because this bear fucked me up. And I was like, why the fuck are you in the mountains, bro? There's like an old school saying, isn't it? You don't go, what is it? If you can handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. But what was the other ones? If you're afraid of bears, don't go to the woods. Yeah, I think that was the stuff. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are these people doing with their life, man? Climbing mountains, fucking getting mangled by bears. I'll never climb a mountain. You will never see me in a fucking stupid Guinness World. That's the stupidest book, honestly, mate. After that's gotta be the dumbest book ever, isn't it? Like. Guinness World Records. What the fuck's wrong with these people, man? Jesus Christ, man. These people don't have any hobbies. No, actually, that's the problem. They have a hobby and they get like obsessed with it. They get manic and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna hold a world record in eating the most orange slices in 24 seconds. And there's this fucking guy somewhere in China or in fucking Poland or whatever. There's always like these obscure places. And now I pissed off all the Chinese and Polish listeners to you. Kurwa pierdole. Shishini. See? Here you go. Boom. Back on the right track. I love everybody, baby. Woo. And you see this fucking guy. It's always a guy, by the way, never a girl. Because why? Because girls, they have friends, they have good social life, they get laid often, they have hobbies, they're mentally stable, man. Most women. Guys, they go fucking insane. If a guy doesn't get laid more than a few years, he fucking goes. He's out there looking for Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, looking at telescopes, you know what I mean? Looking for UFOs, eating slice oranges on national television so he can be in Book of World Records type of fucking shit. Come on, people. Jesus, man. So this fucking guy, right? He was telling that because it's 1 year, right? And some of these places like Russia and whatever the fuck, like North China or whatever, are unbelievably cold. So he was saying that, he has like freezing sessions. Is that a word? I don't even know, man. I'm so perplexed and confused by people like this. Why do you fucking do this? Or those people who run the marathons. Oh my, I've run 12 marathons in the last 1 year. Why the fuck do you run? Why is somebody chasing you? What are you running for? The only way you see me run a marathon is somebody's chasing me. And legit, you know what I mean? Like fucking. Why are these people running, man? Fucking hell, they're running. For what? Fucking hell. And on Sunday, because I work the weekends in town, and everything's fucking closed, man. These stupid marathons. Sometimes I wish somebody trip half of those motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Just put like a really long stick and just pop, 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 pop. Oh, I'll be on the sidelines laughing. Ha 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 ha. Look at you now, dumb motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Why you running? Fucking running, man. Why you running from? Who's chasing you? I don't know, man. It's crazy. And so this guy, he was saying like, we started off at 10 people, and then they were like four or something. He said we lost 6 people, and they were like, oh my god, did they die? He was like, no, they just gave up and went back to whatever the fuck the country they're from. And I was like, yeah, that's a smart move. And they was asking him like, okay, so what did you eat? And he was like, just beans and bread and that type of shit, whatever the fuck they buy and put in their backpacks. 1 year, bro. Oh my fucking god. 1 year. No ice cream, no fucking pizza, no fucking salami, sausages, nothing. No, oh Jesus Christ, man. No bacon. Oh, no English breakfast. Oh, no Sunday ice creams. Oh, no pancakes. Oh, no waffles. Oh, I love me some waffles. Goddamn. I don't know, man. I don't know. People confuse me, man. But anyway, so this guy was fucking weird. I don't know. Don't fucking do stupid shit because you're pissing me off, mate. Honestly, like fucking hell. People who climb mountains don't get it, mate. Again, why the fuck? Was it the top? I've never met a guy or a girl who climbs mountains just for the fun of it. I'm climbing Mount Everest the next month just for the fun of it. You can fucking die. There's so many people died. And how about those people who climb the mountains without the ropes? Have you seen this fucking insanity? Have you seen this fucking madness? There are some people who will go with no protection, mate. And they're gonna climb. They're not gonna climb like a little hill here. Like a little hill. No, they climb like proper mountains, like proper massive mountains, and so many people died. And I was like, fucking hell, man. That's just stupid. It's not, oh, I'm a daredevil. No, you're just a fucking idiot, mate. Like, you risking your life for this shit. If for what? Oh, so I can get a bit of a chill, a bit of a thrill. But do you know how much of adrenaline rush is it going through my body, Mr. Mike Yanek, when I'm climbing a fucking mountain? No, I don't know, mate, and I don't even care. Do something safe, more safe, like comedy or whatever. Like, you're gonna get a rush, just do comedy. It's such a rush. And I've never felt like, oh my god, I might die if this goes bad, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm gonna quote unquote die on stage, but I'm never like, shit, you know what I mean? If that punchline doesn't land, I'm fucked. Because, these people with the no protection, it takes one move, one wrong move. Oh my, can you imagine how funny it is though? Like the person, because, some motherfuckers died, obviously, from this. I'm sure of it. Condolences to you. Condolences to the families of all the people who've died, who've climbed mountains without protection. I'm really sorry that such a stupid person was a part of your family. Honestly, like, no, sorry, mate. I cannot look at this shit and be like, oh, that's completely fine. You know what I mean? If my little sister one day, right, when she grows up and she's like, you know what, brother, I wanna. No, she'll be like, you know what, brother? She'll be like Hulk Hogan going all pro wrestling on me. But she was like, I wanna climb a mountain without any gear. And I'll be like, you're a fucking idiot. I'll slap her in the face. I'll be like, what are you doing? Pa! And she'll be like, pa! And she'll be like, oh my god, did you just hit me? And I was like, yeah, you fucking stupid kid. What are you doing? I'm joking. Don't slap women, and don't slap your little sisters, okay? That's not cool. I'm being a naughty boy now. I'm being a very, 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 very bad boy now. No, but it's like fucking hell, And I'm sure that, when they were falling down, when they make the wrong move and they fall down, and if they have that long fall, what type of stuff do they go through their head though? You know what I mean? Probably like, shit. You know what I mean? That's it. It's like, or you think they're happy, like, because, like the Vikings and stuff, those warrior cultures, they had this thing where and summarize as well, if you die in battle, you know what I mean? It's, you go to like heaven, or you're gonna have good reputation, or that type of honor, that type of stuff. Can you imagine if it's the same for that type of community when you're falling down? Like, yes, this is the way I want it to go. This is the way it's meant to happen. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Or they're just like, they're thinking like, what the fuck was I thinking? fuck, man. Can you? I'm just thinking now. Can you imagine if you're climbing a fucking mountain without protection, without any safety gear, safety nets, or whatever, and you're like, and they're always young people. I've noticed, they're always young, and you're like 27, 25, or something, and just because you're such a dumbass, okay. And look, even if I get backlash from the climbing community without protection, I genuinely don't give a fuck. You're morons. Honestly, like if you climb a mountain without protection, I'm saying it for the 15th time, you're a fucking moron. And they just make a mistake and they just fall the long, long, long fall, like while, the Roadrunner cartoons, while Will E. Coyote or whatever, the coyote, like the long fall, and he's like having those bubbles with the thoughts or like little signs. And those people like, fuck, I made a big mistake. And can you imagine how embarrassed their parents are gonna be? Oh my god, your child passed away. Yeah, he climbed a fucking rock without protection, and they'll be like, what's wrong with this person? I saw these like daredevil, always guys, again guys, man, fucking hell, what's wrong with us? We're fucking weird, like a weird species of people. Man, you know what I mean? It's fucking bizarre. And I saw these guys, they're very popular on YouTube. Oh man, I'm scared to watch these videos. They climb like Eiffel Tower or like skyscrapers or whatever. Hold on. Jesus, man, talking about these idiots is putting me to sleep now. They're fucking climbing this shit, man. And I can see them. Again, no protection. And they do, have you seen that? They do like a handstand at the edge of a skyscraper, mate. I'm just thinking about this, like everything turns inside me. I'm like, what the fuck? And I watch these clips. Because I'm scared of heights, obviously, and I'm short. I'm not used to heights because if I'm like 7 feet, I'm used to a bit of height. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. And oh my god, mate, they fucking proper scare me. You know what I mean? And they do backflips, bro. I've seen a guy do a backflip, man. I've seen actually people fall though. Oh, it's the scariest shit ever. And it's the same stuff. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? Just so you can get a few likes. Oh my god, these people are insane, bro. What the fuck's happening with people? I just don't get it. Honestly, if somebody, I know this episode is turning out to be a bit more serious, but I like mixture. I like diversity in the episodes and the styles of episodes. But if somebody's fucking like, please let me know, mate. Honestly, what the fuck are you on about? I know you get in a rush, but at least put a fucking belt or whatever, something. At least you're not gonna fucking die. At least the bungee jumping. I'll never do a bungee jump in my life, but I'm not extreme at all. I fucking hate that shit. I'll never do it, but at least I can, they have protection and they're not gonna fucking die. I've only done 2 times in my life that I've never done. I'm terrified of roller coasters. Honestly, like one of my biggest fears in life and like a paranoia is to go on one of those, like everything to do with a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Like those that they go up and down and they fling you in the air, or like the classical, like the little train that goes fucking insane. I don't know why, mate. I'm genuinely terrified. I've only been twice on. In Bulgaria, we call it a gondola. Those. How is it in English? In Venice, those boats. That's a gondola. No, I don't know how to pronounce it though. Gondola. Hey, welcome to Italy. Welcome to Venice. Hey, mamma mia, you gonna come here? You gonna sit on the gondola, and we gonna. Hey, my name is Felipe, and this is my friend Ricardo, and we gonna take you around the beautiful molto belle, beautiful Venice and Italia. You wanna enjoy some pizza pie? Hey. You forget about it. And I've been only twice on that gondola thing or whatever. First time when I was 7. Um, Dude, I don't know how, I don't know why, but in our neighborhood they had like this pop-up amusement park, and they had this thing like, it's massive, you know what I mean? It's huge. I don't even know how people build this shit. I don't fucking know. It was so big, and it was me, my mom. I was 9. Me, my mom, my aunt. I don't know why, but we decided to go on this stuff. Like my aunt and my mom, they don't like that type of shit as well. Somehow I was like, okay, I don't know. I've never been to stuff like that, so okay. I got so fucking scared, mate. Oh my god, dude, I was yelling to stop this thing because um, it goes up, down, it goes back and forth, and it goes higher and higher and higher. Dude, we were not even, and to stop this thing takes time. It's not straight away. It almost makes a 360. You know what I mean, like a spin, almost. We were not even halfway, and I was crying, bro. I was like. I'm out there crying. I'm screaming at that. Please stop, 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 stop. My aunt and my family, they got really scared as well, really worried because I was having like a proper panic attack, mate. I'm not joking, and screaming, and I got off. Eventually, they stopped. I was so fucking furious, honestly, and scared and everything. And by that time, I love cursing. Even now, as a grown up, I just love cursing. But my parents, there was like such a strict code in my house, no cursing, and but I was like so distressed, and I was like, I'm so mad. I really wanna curse now and curse out this ride, curse out everything. And my mom, I'll never forget that she allowed me. She said, "You have 5 minutes, okay?" Because I was strictly they were so tough on me when I was cursing and so mad at me when I was cursing. But she said, "You have 5 minutes. You can say whatever you want." And I went hard, and the fucking paint made. Oh, baby Jesus! Woo! I cursed like a fucking sailor, mate. I was like screaming, fuck this shit, that shit, this mother. Every single curse word that I knew, every word that I've ever heard. I've said stuff that doesn't even make sense, you know what I mean? Like tits this and dick that, and whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And, um, and I felt so good after that. And I was like, I felt good because I just had a release and I was cursing and I was like, cursing is really, really fun. That's why I don't understand people who don't curse. How the fuck you 40? I've seen people, they're like, oh, we don't curse in this house. No, what the fuck you don't curse? What do you mean you don't curse? You're 45, bitch. What the fuck? How the fuck? I've met people and I've lived with people who genuinely do not curse. And they're grown ups, man. You're 50. And no, I don't curse. I don't curse in my life. I've lived a place like that where some of the, some of the tenants and stuff, they will get really, really mad. They will report me to the landlord if I cursed. Some crazy religious people, they were like too obsessed with religion and stuff. I can't be bothered. Like for those of you, I'm just disclosing it, like because if you're wondering, you know, I was brought up, in a Christian because Bulgaria is Christian country, and I was an Orthodox Christian. I was baptized and everything, but my both of my parents are atheists, so I gave up religion ages ago. And I don't even think I'm not even an atheist. I just cannot be bothered about religion. I don't look into it. I don't talk about it, except now I just want to disclose it. I don't even know because do you think if God exists? I don't even care, mate. I genuinely do not care, and so I just cannot be bothered with religion. But those people are like really obsessive, and they're like, "Oh, we live a moral life, and we don't curse and this and like." Look, I'm straight edge. I don't drink, I don't smoke, but I don't go around to be like, "Oh, I live a moral life," and "Oh no, if you drink, stay away from me," or if you smoke or whatever. No, fuck off, mate. Do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, "How the fuck you don't curse? What do you mean you don't curse? You're 45, bitch." You know what I mean? Like, fucking hell. No, 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 we don't curse. We don't use that type of language around here. That's what they always say, these fucking people. Oh, no, we don't use that type of language around here. No, sorry. And fucking cunts. And I love cursing, mate. It's fucking fun. And the second time I went to that same ride I was 17 years old and I was at the beach working. I worked for 4 months at the beach doing henna tattoos. You know those tattoos on the beach, the really cheap and really, really bad ones with the dodgy designs that they wash off in 7 days, 4 days, or whatever. I used to do that when I was 17. No, I had like jobs when I was a kid, but that was like my first job where I worked for somebody else because I had jobs but working for parents and family and all that stuff. And since I was like 7 or 8, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm gonna tell this story in the future podcast. But anyway, and This was the first job that I had, and I did it for 4 months over there. And I met this girl. It was great because I was because you had so many girls who come to do the tattoos, and what you can do is they sit down and you have like at least 10, 15, 20 minutes with them, and I'm genuinely like good at conversations and I'm funny, so you get to talk to them and they don't, they cannot go anywhere because you're doing the tattoo and you make a bit of money. Anyway, so I was talking with this girl, and we went out a few times and stuff. And the first time, and look, I was 17, you know what I mean, I was a kid back then, and it was completely different. I was very like self-conscious, and really cared to make a good first impression. And I don't want people, especially girls back then, to be like not to like me and all that type of stuff. But bro, it's normal when you're that age. You're very self-conscious. Now I just don't give a fuck. Even this podcast, I'm saying whatever the fuck I want. I don't care. And but back then was different, And we go out and we go to the city center or whatever. It was like in a small sea town or whatever. And we just go and we walk around, blah blah blah. And she's talking something, I'm talking something. I don't remember, mate, like what we talked about. I only remember. I don't even remember her name. I kind of remember how she looked and like the few places we went and all that stuff. But it was so that was 17, 13 years ago. Oh my god, fuck. Sometimes I'm scared how fast time flies, mate. I'm genuinely terrified. 13 fucking years ago. Wow. And the funny part is, I have some colleagues from back then that I still keep in touch. What? You know what I mean? That's insane. These people, I just met them for 4 months, but they were just working, like next to, just like, you know what I mean? Like next stalls or whatever next to me, selling, I don't know, jewelry, hats, whatever. And because, it was like this little community of, different people and stuff. And I still, I wouldn't say keep in touch with friends, but I have them on Facebook and like, hey, happy birthday, just catch up like once a year, just drop a few lines. That's fucking insane. Just random people that I just met them for 2 months in my life, and you build like a relationship, a bond with them. That's fucking insane. I'm sure that there are people listening that they had the same experience. Like maybe they were a bartender, maybe for like 5 months somewhere, like 12 years ago, and you still keep in touch with those people, even though these people are in different countries. They're not even in Bulgaria. They're all across the world. That's fucking insane, man. Like people are weirdo. How you build, you know, how you build relationships and stuff, isn't it? Like I have people with again like work obscure places, or you have people you just met on a drunken night out, friend of a friend. You saw that person 3 times in your life, but every time you meet them, it's like they're your brother or sister. It's amazing when you see them. Fuck, man. And then I have people that I see that I've worked for years and I never contact again after I leave the job, or like even friend of a friend, and I see, because I'm a friend with somebody and I see that person for years every time I'm there, but after that friend goes or something, I never contact them again. Life is fucking weird. And so she said that she's really into like not an adrenaline junkie, but she drives a motorcycle and she fucking bungee jumps, and you know what I mean, that type of stuff. And I'm a pussy, mate. Honestly, like I don't drive anything. I don't know how to drive a bicycle, a fucking skateboard. You know what I'm saying? Like I cannot drive fucking anything, and I'm definitely not an adrenaline junkie. And she's just like, and I'm like, fuck. And I really want to impress this girl. And as we walking, they had that fucking, like pop up, what's it called? Theme park or circus or whatever. And they had the same gondola, whatever, that I've experienced 12 years prior, because, I was 9. And I was like, no, hold on. 17 minus, how much is, hold on. How much 17 minus 9? 8. I don't know, mate. It's have a long day today. And I'm shit at math. Okay, what can I do? I was really bad at school. I was 8. Anyway, it was 8 years ago. And we see this thing, and she was like, oh my god, this is one of my favorite rides. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And I'm just like, oh no, baby Jesus, no, fuck. You know what I mean? I do not want to go on this shit. And she was just like, oh my god, yes. And before I know it, she's already there talking with the guy, giving him the money or whatever. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm genuinely nervous now. And and she's like, "Are you coming?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, of course. Just give me a second." And mate, I'm fucking shaking. I'm sweating on the inside. I'm like, "Oh fuck, I don't wanna do this." You know what I mean? Shit. And she's already there, and she was just like, "Okay, hold on." And we get in, and they strap us in, and it's only us and like two other people, like on the opposite side. And I'm like, "Oh fuck." You know what I mean? And it's going up, and it's going crazy, mate. It starts to go crazy. She is, oh, whoa, yeah, screaming. She's having the time of her life. The other two people in front, they're fucking loving it as well. I'm just holding to this fucking thing because there was like this fucking bar in front of me. I'm holding, and I'm just like, oh my god, thank baby Jesus, come. I'm praying to fucking God. Yeah, so much for a guy that doesn't fucking care about God, innit? I had only few instances in my life where I genuinely prayed. This is one of them. I was like, oh my god, fucking Jesus Christ, oh my god, Jesus Christ. This girl is fucking you going insane, mate. She's loving it. She's like looking at me. Oh my god, Mike, this is amazing. Oh, I'm having the time of my life. And bro, I'm sweating. I'm trembling. Okay, I'm so fucking scared. I'm 17, but I felt like that little kid again. I am so fucking scared, mate. And I'm just looking at her, and I pretend that I'm like, yeah, this shit is easy. I mean, come on. I'm just like, yeah. Oh my god, dude. Everything on the inside just goes up and down, up and down. You know that feeling when it goes, And I'm just like, yeah, of course, yeah, everything's great. I'm Jesus, man. And this went for a few minutes. And after it finished, she's like all buzzing and full of adrenaline, and she's so happy. She's like hugging me. Oh my god, you know what I mean? She's being all lovely and stuff. I'm like, and I'm trying to play it cool. You know what I mean? I was not showing that I'm scared, but I was not showing that like, oh, I'm having a fun time. Like, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I do stuff like that all the time. You know what I mean? Just say some random stupid shit like that. But yeah, this was the only two times I've ever been to stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to make me uncomfortable or really scared me, I don't think there's a way that you can convince me to do something like, like a theme park. But yeah, I had one of my mates, they were offering me to go to Blackpool to the illuminations and the theme park and all that stuff, but I just said no because they said we're just gonna go to rides, nothing else, for like 10 hours. They stayed 10 hours there or something, and I was like, no, well, I'm just gonna stand and, I don't know, eat cat and candy or popcorn or whatever, you know what I mean? It's fucking nothing. So, mm, yeah, I don't like shit like that, bro. Who came up with this fucking nonsense? You know what I mean? It fucking scares me, man. And I don't know, man. I've seen too many videos of people throwing up and fainting and fucking flying. Oh, you know what happens? Like every few years, like I slowly, because I don't know, I think one day I just have to do it. You know what I mean? Just like fucking, just to get it out of my system or just to defeat the fear or something. And every few years, mate, I'm um gathering, like my courage. I'm like, okay, Mike, I'm gonna fucking do it. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. And every like 4 or 5 years, I see on the news there is a malfunction on one of these rides, and something happens, something breaks, people fall down, somebody dies, or somebody slinged in the air or something. Which my condolences. I mean, that's really bad. But I'm just thinking like, oh hell no, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Just as I gather up enough courage, some disaster happens, and I'm like, no, fuck that shit. I'm not doing this shit. So yeah, there's no way you can get me or something like this. But maybe if you're like a really cute girl, but no, I don't. I'm too secure in myself now. I'm at the point where I don't care. So I'll just make a joke of it, and I'll just admit it and own up to it. That's how you win at life. I've noticed. If you wanna win at life, if you wanna smash it at everything and feel good and have confidence, just own whatever you do, and everything that you think is gonna be a scandal, unless you're doing something illegal, obviously. But everything is gonna damage your reputation, everything you're ashamed or something that you're worried about, just own it and say it before it can become a scandal. whatever it is. Just go out there, own it, make a few jokes. You'll be like, yeah, I did that. I mean, as long as it's not illegal. Don't do illegal shit, bro. I mean, come on, what the fuck? But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I had fun. This is it, or this is who I am. Make a few jokes. Boom, sorted. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you fucking win. And people will respect you. People people will like you. You know what I mean? Like people like honesty. You know what I mean? That's why I'm always honest at this podcast. It's a lot of rambling. It's a lot of who I am. It's a lot of expression. A lot of things that I think, believe, things that happen to me. Like if I was not secure in myself, I wouldn't tell you that story when I was 9. When I got really scared and cried, or with the girl that I was fucking, shitting my pants and stuff. If I was not secure in myself, because if I cared what people think, you will think like, oh, that presents me in a light where I'm weak. But I'm at the point where like I don't care what you think or anybody else. You might think that I'm weak. That's okay. I mean, I go on stage and I'm really flamboyant and feminine. You might think that I'm flamboyant and feminine in real life. I don't care. I also go and be very aggressive and very yell. You might think, oh, this guy's probably such an intense nightmare off stage. I'm not. But even if you think that way, I don't care. I don't care. You know what I mean? You're just like owning it. And that's how you fucking win, man. All I do is win, no matter what. Ooh. I don't know, man. Life's good, man. Life's good. Okay, let me do the last story. Hold on. Man, I almost fucking died over here, choked on some water and shit. Okay, let me do the last story because I don't want this podcast to be an hour and a half again. So, hold on, let me see. Should I do the story now or just tease you for the next episode? Well, I've done hour and 50. Oh, yes, you're gonna really dislike me now. I've done hour and 15, mate, and I have to go now. But you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna leave the story for the next episode. And now you're fucking slamming your keyboard or yelling. You're like, fuck you, Mike Yanek. I'm never listening to this goddamn bloody show again. Even though it's a really nice content, it's very funny, informative. Sometimes it's even motivational. No. And I really like you, such a sweet boy. Bye. But I'm not gonna listen now. No, sorry, mate. But look, this is like a bit of a soap opera. I'm trying to build up continuity. See, I knew big words. What's up? And I want to build interest to the episode, to the show. You know what I'm saying? So you have to tune in next week, baby. And that's why this podcast is once a week. But anyway, mate, I hope that you enjoy yourself. A little bit more ranting. I think it was a little bit more serious at the points this episode, but it's good, mate. I like to diversify it. Honestly, I want every episode to be like a completely different experience. I don't want every time to be the same. And I have so many ideas and big plans for this podcast. Just stay tuned, mate. Honestly, like I just want to build like this little cheeky community. I don't care about numbers. Even if it's 10, 20, 50 people that really enjoy the show and listening, that's enough for me. I don't need fucking millions, mate. What do I need? What I'm gonna do? Like, I don't have time now to rant about the people with the millions of subscribers, the people that want them and will do anything for them. Now, why do I want like a fucking million people? And build like a little solid community. Mike Nation. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to go now, mate. But I hope that you're having a great week. Enjoy the rest of the week. Hustle, bustle, make that money. Rant, okay? And don't put up with anybody's shit, baby, okay? Hold on, let me snap up in this motherfucker. Did you hear that? Okay? I don't want you to put up with anybody's bullshit. Somebody come over here and they say, I have some bullshit. You slap him in the face. You be like, motherfucker, get away from me. Get away. I don't have time, man. I'm on a different level now. I don't have time for your bullshit. I'm out here hustling and bustling. I'm part of Mike Nation. Anyway, mate, I fucking love you, okay? And listen, I'll talk to you next week, mate. Have a nice one, yeah? And now enjoy the outro song of the Mike Yanek Show. This was the Mike Yanek Show. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and have a nice week. Speak to you next Wednesday.